I want to show you this New York Times article real quick because the context is hilarious. Make no mistake, the investigation of Donald Trump and the Stormy Daniels scheme is serious. From March 21st. Oh boy, that was just yesterday. And then today we get a letter proving that it's all fake news and not real. And the New York Times should be very, very embarrassed for running a story like this.
Who wrote this? They deserve credit.
This is Ryan Goodman and Andrew Weissman.
Idiots.
And they write
Idiots.
Well, look,
they deserve to have their names out there.
They're like a myriad of crimes possibly committed by Trump.
Possibly.
You know what, though? You know what?
Imagine watching Law and Order. Sorry. And it's like, these are the possible stories that may have happened. We're not sure.
We're pretty positive. Okay?
I don't know. I mean,
it's loosely based on a true story that I thought up, then added some details later. No, but you know what? On second thought, the headline actually is kind of accurate. You know why? It is serious. The idea that we're going to go indict former presidents for things like this, that truthfully, no normal person cares about. If this situation is turned around, be intellectually honest. Let's pretend it's Joe Biden, okay? Same situation, same details, same everything, same letter, all that. I don't care. There's much more serious reasons why I would want to go after Joe Biden. His family selling out to China. You know, the evidence now that was released this week by congressional members who were Republican that show the bank statements showing that members of the Biden family got money from a Chinese entity that came straight from the Chinese government, and it got spread across multiple members of the Biden family. That I find more concerning. Ukraine? I find that much more concerning. Right. Ukraine and getting the prosecutor fired, I find that much more concerning. Hunter Biden's laptop full of 300 plus crimes, I find that more concerning. I don't find a story like this, if this was going on with Joe Biden, I'd intellectually, honestly be able to say, I don't care, we look silly doing this. We better not do this. I'm going to come out swinging against it because I'm not going to make myself look personally stupid. But apparently Democrats don't have that value. They don't have that chip in their head that goes, you know what? I don't want to personally be embarrassed by this. I'm going to speak out against it. They all go along with it. They're willing to be just totally humiliated as long as it's for a greater cause in their brain. And this is the greatest cause for them. They've been wanting to indict him for years.
I don't think they are humiliated, though. I don't think they care. I think that this is activism journalists. I mean, it's not journalism, but this is state-run propaganda.
Yeah, they may be incapable of humiliation.
At some point, like, when do we admit that these mainstream, propaganda pieces are, who are they effectively working for? I mean, they're able to run stuff every single day, completely not factual. They don't do retractions. But damage is already done.
Well,
they do it over.
They sometimes do retractions because they make money on that too. So you can write a news story, Ian Crossland does backflip, and then everyone's shocked, and they click it, and it gets 1 million views, and it's fake news. Then the next day you run another story, apologies, Ian actually did a front flip, and then you try and milk the views. The ad sales you get from that fake article, you don't give the money back.
No.
And Ian is going to then post it and be like, look, I got them to apologize.
Yep.
And clicks come off that.
It's a way of capitalizing both sides when they do. And they don't always do it. But yeah, major news outlet will write, Donald Trump punches dog, and then get 1 billion views.
Right.
Then the next day write, we apologize for running the story. Donald Trump did not punch dog. And then the right shares the story and says, aha, this proves it. They make money off both. Amazing, huh?
But here's the thing about it that's so dangerous. Is the side that first saw Trump punches dogs will always believe and never be disabused of the notion that Trump punches dogs. Yep. They will always believe that. And that's the danger in this system, is that we've let it get to this point where it's pure poison,
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, what we've been talking about in terms of wokeness and the tribalism in the country is the social zombism of the left. You've got a mix of people like we were mentioning earlier, Joe Walsh and Kinzinger, Cheney. Who else were we mentioning? Cohen. These people who are like, I know it's bunk, but boy, I got to join the left because that's my ticket to making money.
Yeah, that's their next ticket. That's their next check.
And the funny thing is the left argues it's the right that does that. And I'm like, okay, name me anyone who was a staunch leftist, who was a diehard liberal advocating and yelling Obama, who is now coming out and going Trump MAGA 2024.
Right.
There are some you could probably mention. However, if you take a look at the people they tend to name, Dave Rubin was never like holding up big Obama signs. He was just a default liberal. He got into politics, said, hey, wait a minute, I didn't know that. And now he is where he is. It's like kind of libertarian. They say he's grifting, because he used to be on the left. It's like, no, you don't understand. the average person, I think Breitbart called them default liberal.
Yep.
They consume news from CNN and from the New York Times. They assume it's true, and then they're liberal because of it. Then when they start actually digging in and researching, they're like, hey, wait a minute, that was a lie. That doesn't make them conservative. It just means that they know what's going on in the world. You take a look at these people who are on the right and on the left, and it's like they had to choose to accept lies. That's the thing we understand. When we see a story like, here's a video of Joe Biden, and he's saying, if you don't fire the prosecutor, you're not getting the $1 billion. And he says, you don't have the authority. Call the president, ask him. He outright tells in his story that he was accused of not having the authority to withhold loan guarantees from the United States, which is correct. He does not have that authority. And then when we tell people that, these default lib types, they're like, that's not true. That never happened.
Or it's not that big of a deal. I was told that.
But the issue is they don't believe it happened. They don't know it happened.
That's the bigger problem.
So here you are. You'll typically find that in what I refer to as the freedom faction, where we are conservatives, liberals, disaffected liberals, libertarians. It's like I saw what CNN said. I saw what Breitbart said. I saw what Fox News said. Here's what I think happened. When you look at the left, it's like I watched CNN and that's it. So these people don't know anything. The people on the right know both sides and then come to a conclusion. Exemplified by a graph that I love showing off. Liberals only consume liberal news. Moderates consume 60% liberal, 30% conservative. And conservatives consume 30% liberal, 60% conservative, which makes sense. Their worldviews are shaped by the information they consume. But moderates and conservatives are willing to listen to each other to figure out what makes the most sense. Liberals don't do that. They only consume left-wing sources.
Tells you everything.
So when you see Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks tweet that equity doesn't exist except in the minds of 12 leftists in the entire right wing, and Bernie Sanders is correct, we want equality of opportunity, not outcome. That is the perfect example of what we're talking about. He knows he's lying because every corporation and school has launched a diversity, equity, and inclusion office or officer. How could it be that these things don't exist? Yet Biden has an equity plan. Yet politicians talk about equity. Corporations.
Kamala talks about it constantly.
And then Cenk Uygur comes out and says, nope, never heard of it. Because they know they're lying and they're just saying what they think they have to say to get clicks.
If you had asked him the day before Bernie said that, where he took the position of equality, he would have defended equity.
Absolutely. No question.
Just one day. I mean, an hour before he said it.
I bet you could find tweets from him from a year ago where he's like, equity, equity, equity.
I bet I'd take that bet. I bet we could. I bet we would find him 100% because they live and breathe this stuff. You know what it does kind of remind me of, though? Every once in a while, the left does this where they knowingly lie to your face about a failure of theirs, and they pretend it just never happened. This happened with Latinx, okay?
Yeah.
All of us raged. They're like, I'm Latino. I'm like, you're not calling me Latinx. You guys are ridiculous. And, you know, a lot of Latinos feel like it's a slur. I wouldn't go that far because I feel like really things like, you know, the N-word, that's a slur. I didn't get like personally crazy offended by it, but so many people do see it as a slur that I think it's you know, kind of common sense. Hey, leave that one alone. People don't like being called it. But they just kept going with it, and they put it on every TV station. It was like, instead of Latino stories, which, by the way, is ludicrous. Like, I'm Latino. We don't need our own section on Amazon that says Latino stories. Like, just put movies up there. Let people pick what they want. I find it personally kind of... Imagine there being a white section, like whites only section. That's what they do for Latinos. It's like Latino
They do it
films.
for the Black History Channel.
Yep, they do it for black folks as well. And I just think... it's actually really offensive. Like, you know, I think it's kind of ludicrous. We need you don't think we can find movies we like without you putting a Latino sign? But they pretended this whole thing with Latinx, that this should be normalized. And then once it failed and all the Latinos hated it and they started voting Republican, Democrats pretended it never happened. Yep. They go, oh, no, none of us said that. None of us like that. We don't, you are Latinos, obviously. This is a couple crazy people from college. It's like literally the entire journalism changed. The AP style guide changed to saying Latinx. All of your different news outlets said it. You had every single entertainment section in the country change from Latino to Latinx. And it's only after your failures that you then deny reality and tell us, no, we're going to gaslight you. You're all crazy. This never happened. And that's kind of what I think they're going to do with equity, because it's just so blatantly unfair and people are starting to understand how ridiculous it is. That's their only option to go backwards.
Look, check this out. I just did a Google search. NYU's Latinx project receives $1.3 million grant, but then below it, woke Latinx term isn't preferred by Hispanics and Latinos from Norfolk Daily News.
But,
Amazing.
You know, the white libs at NYU really prefer that term.
Look at this one. New York Times. Some Republicans want to ban Latinx. These Latino Democrats agree. Surprise, surprise. The people who are actually being insulted are like, hey, stop saying that.
Yeah, I mean, it was always so ludicrous. We're talking about like literally the most gendered language and culture on the planet. It is a very like, I think maybe a lot of Americans don't fully get this. Like Latino culture is very macho. And I mean that even with like the women love it. You know, Latino women, they love the macho culture. The men love it. It's like one of those very gendered sort of deals. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the culture. You know, why everybody wants to find some fault within cultures is just kind of ludicrous to me. Yes, are there people who are Latino who don't like that? Sure, I'm sure there are. But you know what? The vast majority do. And that's just the general rule about the culture. And it's okay to recognize that.
Latinx sounds like Kleenex.
It does.
That's what
it does sound like
Latinx. And that's what a lot of people are like. It's kind of just don't call people words that they didn't want to be called. It's funny because the left is like, call me what I demand to be called or else. Also, we're going to call you what we want to call you.
Yes.
It's like, okay, it's a really weird thing.
It's a weird set of rules they have.
They just recycle bad ideas and then rebrand them and then retract what they said that, you know. It's
whatever doesn't work. They just throw it against the wall and they're like, okay, that one worked. They accepted.
Yes.
They accepted transphobia. Let's see if it works with Latinx.
Well, there's no consistent foundation of values on the left. That's why there is such fluctuations where on the right, we didn't change our position. We value freedom. We don't want to, chop children's genitals off. We want, low taxes. I mean, nothing changed in the mindset of people center to right. But the left is constantly changing. They're the ones that want, all-age drag shows. They're the ones who want gender mutilation of children. They're the ones who want pornography in school. So there's no moral or value foundation that's shared that's consistent.
There is one thing that changed on the right, and it also changed on the left. The left used to be an anti-war party. The right used to be a pro-war party. That is reversing. The normal people I meet out in rural states and everything, they don't want to get into another forever war. They don't want to send their sons to die again for some, elitist plot to go take some whatever natural resource from some other country. They don't want to do it. They're not going to fall for it again. They don't want to spend their money there. And the Democrats love war now. I mean, they are literally slobbering for war money. And that's a big change in party politics. Like, I think you go 10 years out, I don't think you can effectively be anti-war at all and vote for Democrats.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.